Welcome to Booked for Two. I'm Genevieve, lover of swoony romances, smutty fantasy, and a good enemies to lovers trope.
And I'm Scott, your go-to guy for dragons, sprawling fantasies, and questioning if females spend more time brooding or hair flipping.
Wow, that joke gets worse every time you say it.
And yet, here we are.
This is the podcast where we dive into books together as a couple, sharing laughs, debates, and probably way too many feelings about fictional characters.
Each week, we break down chapters from a book, offering two very different takes, mine logical and thoughtful.
And mine, absolutely correct. Plus, let's be honest, spicier.
Fair enough. So, grab your book, get comfy, and let's turn the page together. Babe, is Celaena officially the queen of multitasking, or are we worried she's taking on too much?
Listen, she's uncovering secret passages, dodging deadly killers, and still finding time to sass literally everyone. That's impressive.
True, but she's playing a very dangerous game. The line between champion and target grows thinner by the day.
Well, if her biggest competition is a bunch of mangled champions, I'd say she's got a decent shot for now.
You've got a fair point. Celaena 2, universe, still losing.
All right. Last week, we peeled back even more layers of Celaena's world. We saw her let her guard down, briefly, while playing the piano, sparking tension and a little something extra between her and Dorian. The tests, a walk in the park. But the word marks Kane was studying by the tower, not so much. We also learned more about Celaena's bond with Nehemia, saw the queen secretly give Dorian a list of names to burn, and witnessed Rifthold's politics getting even messier.
This week, it's all about uncovering hidden truths and facing dangerous shadows. And trust us, the stakes are higher than ever. Before we dive in, a quick reminder, make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Booked for Two Podcast for updates, fun content, and behind-the-scenes sneak peeks.
Ooh, and here's something new. Starting this week, we're adding a Q&A to every episode. Head over to our socials after the episode drops to ask questions about the book, the episode, or just to say hi. We'd love to hear from you.
And to finish out this promotion, don't forget to subscribe to Book for Two on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review. Your support helps other book lovers find us and join in on the adventure.
Now, let's turn the page.
And now, Chapter 24.
Portals, parties, and poor decisions.
Celaena sprawled out in bed, wide awake, even though she's got a test tomorrow. What is this, midterms? We in college now? Midnight rolls around and she's still in that quote-unquote ridiculous dress, the one that we love. And I'm still proud of her outfit.
I'm proud of it, too.
Yeah,
I think she likes it.
Oh, yeah. And
why not?
She's proud of it, too.
She should be.
Exactly.
She gets to dress up.
She tries not to think about the feast or the piano, as both situations have annoyed her. Her eyes drift to the moonlight cutting through the room, tracing its path until it lands on a tapestry hanging on the wall. The tapestry was odd, old, and not very carefully preserved. Images of forest animals amongst drooping trees dotted the large expanse. A woman, the only human in the tapestry, stood near the floor. She was life-size and remarkably beautiful. Though she had silver hair, her face was young, and her flowing white gown seemed to move in the moonlight.
Wait, did the tapestry just move?
I think so.
She glances at the window. Wait, it's closed. And the tapestry is blowing outward into the room. Her skin prickles. She lifts the edge, half expecting some secret passage nonsense. Nope, just stone. Pouring stone. Wait, what's this? A vertical groove in the wall? But it's different from the others. And then there's another one just a few feet away. It's a door.
It's a door!
It's a door. Dum, dum, dum. So secret passageway, here we come. The kind of door a sensible person, which we know she's not, would leave the hell alone. But this is Celaena, so naturally she opens it and, surprise, dark, creepy passage.
No, thank you.
Definitely haunted vibes. Then a breeze hits her, except now it's blowing inward into the passageway.
How does that work?
I don't know, but that sounds like fun and the start of any horror movie that I haven't seen.
Yeah, I'm creeped out.
But she's not going to go explore. First, she has to gather supplies. Candlesticks.
Check.
Yarn.
Check.
Chalk.
Check.
One shiv, because obviously no real weapons, and of course her cape. Who doesn't love a good adventure cape?
That's right. She's just adding accents to her beautiful dress.
I love it. Adventure dress.
Now, with her adventure dress, Celaena stands before the passage again, probably thinking this is a terrible idea, but it's calling her, like some dark, irresistible dare. She props a chair in the doorway and ties a knot with yarn, most likely making a breadcrumb trail to avoid getting lost in the abyss.
Smart.
Very smart. The second she steps inside, the cold hits her, and an eerie silence wraps around her like a shroud. It's silent, dead, completely forgotten by the world, like Drake's rap career.
Oh, goodness.
You're welcome, Kendrick. At the bottom of the winding staircase, she stopped, confronted by 3 dark, ominous portals. Welcome, assassins and adventurers, to Choose Your Portal. I'm your host, Obsidian, here with my co-host, the marvelous Garnet. Tonight, we've got a special contestant straight from the dungeons of Endovier. Give it up for Celaena Sardothian. All right, Celaena, you've stumbled into this secret passage under your room, and now it's time to make a choice. Behind one of these 3 identical portals lies, well, something you definitely won't see coming. Garnet, why don't you tell her what's behind portal number 1?
Absolutely, Obsidian. Behind portal number 1 is a corridor of absolute darkness, filled with the paralyzing fear of the unknown. Will you conquer your terror or get lost forever? Who knows? Back to you.
Spooky stuff, Garnet. Portal number 1 really sets the tone. Dark, mysterious, and guaranteed to make you question your life choices. It's kind of like my last blind date, but with fewer torches. Portal number 2, what's lurking back there?
Oh, you're gonna love this one. Behind portal number 2 is another corridor of absolute darkness, but this time with a slightly damp floor for that extra unsettling touch. Slippery, mysterious, and guaranteed to give you the heebie-jeebies.
Talk about a wet and wild adventure. And last but not least, portal number 3, Garnet, hit us with the big reveal.
With pleasure. Behind portal number 3 is, you guessed it, a corridor of absolute darkness. But wait, there's more. This one features a slight craft, so you'll have that windblown look everyone's talking about.
Ooh, a real trendsetter, that portal 3. All right, Celaena, the moment of truth. Which portal will you choose?
I choose, portal number 2.
She chose portal number 2. Garnet, tell her what she's won.
Congratulations, Celaena. You've just won your freedom. That's right. You're free to row yourself away in one of 4 old, slightly leaky boats. But hey, the best part? No guards will chase you. It's DIY freedom at its finest.
Wow, what a prize. But hold on. Garnet, what happens if she doesn't take the deal?
Well, Obsidian time is ticking. Will she take her hard-earned freedom or stick around for something better? Let's find out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think I'll stay.
Ooh, tough luck, Celaena. No boat, no freedom. Just a bunch of creepy tunnels and some deadly secrets. Better luck next time.
That's it for this episode of Choose Your Portal. Until next time, assassins, remember, sometimes the scariest choice is all of them. They were all drunk at the party still. They wouldn't know that she was gone for hours, but it would be foolish. The king would find her somehow, and Chaol would be in trouble, and Princess Nehemia would be left with these idiots.
So we're guilt tripping ourselves?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So she can't just ditch her with those people. Plus, Celaena's got a point to prove. She would not run. She should face the king and win her freedom honorably.
Yes.
Now she has a way out if she wants to escape, so that's a good thing to have in your back pocket. She heads back up the stairs and finds herself again before the portals.
And guess what? We now still have a podcast. So Celaena stares at the portals, her initial curiosity fading fast, until a breeze stirs from the one on the right. The hair on her arms rises as whispers float out in foreign languages she can't understand. And listen, she's no fool, and we've all seen Scream. She knows the horror movie rules. Check for death inscriptions first, and under no circumstances do you walk into a dark space with whispers in a foreign language. Nope, not today.
I mean, what if it's a foreign language that you understand?
I mean, that makes sense, but then you would know if it's danger or not, right? So being the smart assassin that she is, she heads left.
Smart.
Because honestly, everybody knows you don't go into a dark, creepy, possibly demonic portal on Samhain. Bad for business.
Yeah, I'm going to take a hard pass on that one myself. The left portal winds up a staircase, like forever long. Up, 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 and then one straight hall that seems to lead on forever. Where is she going? Following it, she's surprised to hear music.
What's going on?
She rounds a corner, another small set of stairs, and she finds herself in an even smaller hallway. She has to duck and waddle toward the light and sound. A bronze grate for viewing the scene below.
And what is the scene?
She is high above the Great Hall Feast, the same feast she was not invited to.
Not cool.
No. Is this a spy tunnel?
She did mention the dimensions in her room being weird.
Yeah, is that what this is for?
Wait, is there a spy tunnel that goes to her room?
I don't know. I bet there is.
Huh.
I wonder if she'll look for grates in her room.
So what is she seeing at this party?
Wait, that's Chaol.
What's Chaol doing?
And he's having fun.
There's no way.
Yes. And he's not brooding in the corner like usual. And then she notices something weird about herself. That his happiness made her own face flush in response. His happiness made her happy.
And that makes sense because she can still be angry with him for not bringing her to the party, but she can still feel happy for him that he's finally enjoying himself.
Yeah, that's true. But then she notices, oh wait, there's Nox.
What?
And Pelor. And the other champions. They're all cozy and social here at the grand banquet. And Pelor is literally sitting next to Chaol.
Where Celaena should be sitting.
Yeah, why didn't she get an invite?
That's a good question. I wonder if Dorian's just worried about people asking too many questions.
Maybe, but Kane's not there either.
Maybe the Duke's worried about people asking too many questions, or maybe they're off doing something. Yeah, okay. No tinfoil hat yet.
No, but there are also other grates for viewing.
Okay.
But she doesn't notice any other pairs of eyes looking out of those.
Okay, so we're going to remember that just in case she needs to go spy in the Great Hall again. Maybe she'll run into someone else later on. So meanwhile, Dorian is also out there. He's dancing and laughing with some blonde idiot.
What?
Seriously, she's his champion. And Dew won't even bother to invite her? The audacity. Celaena wants to hate him for it, but then she remembers the kindness in his eyes. The same kindness that made her open up completely about Sam. Damn him. He may be a Hiviliard, but that doesn't stop her from wanting to kiss him.
Oh, there we go again.
Then she spots Chaol leaving the party and suddenly has a realization. Oh shit, he might be coming to check on me.
Uh-oh.
So without missing a beat, she bolts back to her room, yanks the tapestry over the secret passage, and dives into bed like she's been there all night. Smooth, Celaena. Real smooth.
Super smooth. I'm sure your heart's not racing or anything. You're not sweaty. You're perfectly.
Oh no, everything's gonna look natural. And you're still in the same dress.
And then it gets better. Drunk Dorian stumbles into her room.
Oh god.
But he's a hammered mess. It's 2 a.m. now. She is dead asleep, but still in her fancy dress. He's just standing there, staring at her. Total Disney prince moment, looking at his love. Wondering if she feels the same way. Did she mean that flirting? Cue the record scratch. Because Chaol Chip shows up, sober and glaring. Quote, "What are you doing here?"
What are you doing here?
By the word, Dorian. She's an assassin. Please tell me you haven't been here before. I don't even want an explanation. Just get out, you reckless idiot. Get out. Chaol grabbed him by the collar of his jacket, and Dorian might have punched his friend had Chaol not been so lightning fast. Before he knew it, he was roughly tossed into the hallway, and the door closed and locked behind him.
He yeeted him out.
Yeet.
Yeah, is yeet still a word? Are we still using yeet?
I don't know. I hope so.
My favorite thing is Dorian, for some reason, didn't sleep well that night. Yeah, because you're hungover, bro.
Yeah.
He's
That's
so
so weird.
hungover, just stumbling into a woman's room at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Chaol's still there.
Why? Wait, he shut the door behind Dorian.
Yeah, so first of all, why are either of them there? It's 2 a.m. in her room. Anyway, why does he look so pissed that Dorian was hanging around? This is definitely uncharted territory for our dear Chaol Chip. Is he just playing the overprotective chivalrous knight safeguarding her honor? Or maybe it's something more. As he watches her sleep, because apparently that's what these guys do now.
Creepy.
Right? He can't help but think, she's beautiful. Deadly, but beautiful.
Interesting.
Yeah, honestly, these dudes are giving off really creepy vibes.
Very creepy vibe.
Yeah, standing in her bedroom, brooding and intense, it's a bit much. But before he can overanalyze his feelings or plot his next awkward moves, Celaena stirs and wakes up, probably wondering why her bedroom is turning into a medieval rom-com/horror flick.
So Mr. Awkward brings our assassin a stolen trinket, a ring given out to the women of nobility as swag at the party, but he lies and tells her that they were just giving them out. So he specifically went and grabbed one of these for her, but lies about it?
So is she rubbing off on him? Is Kale Chip fibbing?
Is she turning him into a criminal?
And he's partying and having fun.
Well,
Now he's fibbing.
yeah.
All right.
It's very sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Awkward as hell, but it's sweet. It's just a plain silver band with an amethyst, but it was the thought that counts. She's exhausted. She thanks him and boom, back to sleep. And Kale, he tucks her in with a blanket. And he's having very complicated thoughts about how he's going to explain this whole thing to Dorian tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to explain that ring, but maybe she will cover for him, hopefully.
Maybe.
She seemed pretty sleepy, so who knows?
Yeah.
So let's start with the secret door and the portals. Well, real quick, there was a tapestry, silver-haired woman. We don't know who that is yet.
Life-size woman. She's the only human on the tapestry.
So dark secret passage, not shock. We're in a castle.
Mm-hmm.
Leads to 3 portals.
Creepy portals.
Yep, so she took the center one first, which could have been her freedom, but she decided not to take it. And thank God, because we wouldn't have had a podcast.
Is it pride?
I think it's pride a little bit, but I think it's more that she's starting to care for people now.
Yeah, she maybe made a little bit of friends.
She mentions Nehemia, Dorian, even Kane, and all the other champions too. So she just kind of wants to save everybody, which is very honorable of her.
Yes, interesting. Well, yep.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was thinking about the pirate lord again. So she has a heart.
Yes.
She just gets to pick and choose that.
I forgot about that. When she saved the 200 slaves.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Okay.
So then we're back at the portals. Creepy vibes on the right. Definitely smart of her not to go there.
Yep.
We aren't going there, so she went left.
Yep.
And we're
left takes us to the vents that overlooked the party.
Okay.
And we noticed that everyone was invited but us.
Yes. So we have probably a little bit of anger, jealousy, but we were happy to see Kelchip having fun.
Yep.
We were
a little jealous about Dorian dancing with the blonde, though.
Idiot. Yes.
What's that all about?
No idea. But at least it wasn't Kaltain.
Yeah. And Kane's not there. So that's also something to note. Kane was not there.
Yeah. Where's he at? So let's talk about this creep factor. Dorian was being a typical drunk 19-year-old. I'm not making excuses, but he probably got drunk, got in his feels. He thought he would try some princely riz on Celaena at midnight or 2 a.m, but then he's breaking in her room.
I don't know exactly how all the castles are built, but it seems like she has rooms. So I'm wondering, because
I get
later
rooms, but it sounds more like an apartment. So it sounds like a main door to a bunch of rooms.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. Like a entryway or something.
But you still shouldn't be just walking in.
He's the prince.
Okay,
but
you're still watching her sleep.
Yeah, no, it's totally creepy. 1,000% creepy.
It's not the first time he's just walked in when she's playing the piano. He was just watching her. Granted, it's a beautiful moment, but still, every time he's around this woman, he just knock, give her a knock. Okay.
Why are all of the boys so awkward?
We just are. Okay.
Well, Chaol is just Chaol.
Well, they're young.
I don't think he knows how to woo a woman. So, I mean, the ring was cute though. I liked it.
He did lie.
He did. I love it. I love that he lied.
But he's also technically lying to his friend too. Because he is worried about what Dorian's going to think. So, The one thing I'm worried about is I just don't want this to ruin their friendship. I just hope that Celaena, I don't think Celaena is doing it on purpose. I just hope that their feelings for Celaena doesn't come between them.
Yeah, of course. That would be terrible.
That's the only thing I'm worried about.
I would not. Yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so enough with the creep factor.
Yeah.
You ready to move on to chapter 25?
I am. Let's move.
Hopefully our girl got some sleep.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now, chapter 25.
Time's Rift. I did not mean to say it like that.
Celaena's back in the passage, but this time it's different. She's dreaming, and in this dream, she picks the portal on the right. We are definitely keeping that, by the way.
Okay.
Celaena's back in the passage, but this time it's different. She's dreaming, and in this dream, she picks the portal on the right, the one she swore off before.
Ooh.
Everything feels wrong. Not horrifying, just off. The damp, mildew-soaked walls are gone, replaced with rose-scented air. It's intoxicating and strange, pulling her in as she descends a long, winding staircase. It's already been a long night. Hell, I'm tired for Celaena, and now we have to go back into the portals. Can't we just sleep?
She's dreaming.
I'm so tired for her. At the bottom, she finds an old wooden door, weathered and waiting. A bronze knocker gleams in the low light, almost daring her to use it. Celaena hesitates, half expecting screams or shadowy warnings to stop her, but there's only silence and roses. So with her heart pounding, mine too, and curiosity winning out, she reaches for the door and pushes it open.
I don't know that I would push it. I feel like that's another horror movie that I haven't seen.
If I had her skills, yeah. With my current skills, no.
With her skills, okay, yeah, that's fair. Well, what she finds is not what she expected. Moonlight fills the room, illuminating 2 sarcophagi, a woman and a man.
Hold on. I want to applaud you for saying sarcophagi. Like, I would have messed that up totally. That's a tough word.
Thank you.
It's a word you don't use a lot either.
I feel like I watched The Mummy or something a lot, and they must have said it, or I thought about it. I don't know.
Well, they don't usually bury people in sarcophagi anymore because it's so expensive.
Well, yeah.
Can I get a sarcophagi?
No.
Oh.
Could they be, if you're Adderland's ancient king or queen? Sure, we can get you a sarcophagi, honey.
We can make that happen.
Because that's who these people are, potentially.
Okay.
The woman's face is bathed in the moonlight, her crown adorned with a striking blue gem. The man's face, however, is shrouded in darkness, so that's a very distinct thing. Celaena's curiosity wins out, and she touches the woman's cheek. "Which queen were you?" she whispers.
Real quick, I want to touch on the moonlight on her face and the darkness with his face. I wonder if they represent balance, like a yin-yang, dark and light kind of thing.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Just not like a tinfoil hat, but just something that I kind of keep on the side there, maybe.
Yeah, because her face is the only one bathed in moonlight.
Yes.
I wonder if it's based on the position of the moon.
But I'm also wondering if just because his is in darkness is not a bad thing. Like I said, because just because the yang is dark, it does not mean bad.
Yeah, that's very true.
So her answer doesn't come in words. Oh no, it's way weirder than that. Symbols. Barely visible on the woman's sarcophagus is a word mark. One of those forbidden symbols Celaena's been seeing pop up like bad omens. The floor mirrors the night sky, stars glinting beneath her feet, while the ceiling shows the earth above. Everything's upside down, and it's messing with her head.
Mine too.
Definitely mine too. So I did some digging on the old Google. The world upside down is a powerful symbol used in many cultures and religions. It could symbolize reversal of power. It could symbolize chaos, the end of times, or liberation.
That's very interesting.
And with the yin and yang, it could...
Dark and light, reversal of
exactly.
power. Okay.
Yeah, so lots of different symbolism going on here.
Yeah, all right. It's very cool.
Word marks swirl across the walls in wild looping patterns, endless and hypnotic, like they're trying to pull her into some cosmic spiral. At the queen's feet, she spots an inscription. Simple, eerie, and definitely not comforting. Ah, time's rift. Yeah, that's not ominous.
And that's not all. The queen actually feels familiar to Celaena. Not just the scent of roses, but something else. Then it hits her. The queen's ears are pointed. She has fae ears.
Oh, shit. Fae?
Yeah, but fae haven't married into the Haviliard line for centuries, except for one. Celaena staggers back, realization dawning. The man in the sarcophagus must be Gavin, Adderland's first king.
Okay.
That makes the woman, Elena, the first princess of Terrasen, and queen of Adderland, Brannon's daughter. Oh, and by the way, that means Dorian has fae blood. Scott totally called it.
So that is one of my tinfoil hat theories that I got right.
You did. We're going to need a family tree, though, for them.
Definitely need a family tree as well. Maybe we can actually create one once we
that'd be
start
cool.
figuring out who everyone is. But that's a lot of lineage, though. If they are the first.
I bet there's already one created.
Yeah, I'm sure we could find one.
Yeah, we'll just go find one. But good call on that theory, babe.
Oh, thank you. But there's no time to sit around and ponder existential riddles. Celaena really shouldn't be here. This place is forbidden. It was hidden for a reason. Her eyes dart to the far wall where a treasure trove awaits like something out of Aladdin. Weapons, jewels, and a gleaming golden suit of armor.
Shiny!
Okay, Tamatoa. But it's the sword that steals her breath. Damaris, the very blade Gavin used to take down Erewhon. Are we foreshadowing much?
Sounds like it.
Is this her destiny calling? Or maybe it's Dorian's?
Ooh.
Either way, someone's fate is tied to that sword, and it's only a matter of time before it chooses.
Ooh. Well, before she can overthink, a light feminine voice startles her, sending her sprawling to the ground. Whoever it belongs to has a sense of humor, because now they're laughing at Celaena's ungraceful tumble.
Well, that's not nice. That's a mean ghost. Definitely not Casper.
I mean, I would laugh also if somebody fell. I would help them or, assist, but...
Yeah, but you just scared the shit out of her. And then you're going to laugh at her when she falls?
I mean,
that's not nice, Casper.
The woman, if you can call her that, is stunning. Silver hair, sparkling blue eyes, and pointed ears. She looks eerily like the woman from the tapestry.
Ooh, and it's Elena Haviliard herself. Not Freddy Krueger, thank Jeebus.
Oh, thank goodness.
But she's not a ghost. She's something else entirely. A spirit, A dream projection? But honestly, who cares at this point, as long as it's not Freddy? She warns Celaena that neither of them can stick around for long, as something or someone is currently distracted.
Is it Freddy?
Hey, now. I mean, actually, the way he's been tearing up all these bodies, it very well could be Freddy.
That's creepy.
Yeah, so the air thickens with tension, and just like that, this shit got real.
Who needs distracting?
The 8 guards. You know of whom I speak.
The gargoyles on the clock tower?
They guard the portal between our worlds. We have managed to buy some time, and I was able to split past.
She grasped Celaena's arms to her surprise. It hurt.
You must listen to what I tell you. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything has purpose. You were meant to come to this castle, just as you were meant to be an assassin, to learn the skills necessary for survival.
The nausea returned. She hoped Elena wouldn't speak of what her heart refused to remember. Hoped that the queen wouldn't mention what she had spent so long forgetting.
Something evil dwells in this castle. Something wicked enough to make the stars quake. Its malice echoes in all worlds. You must stop it. Forget your friendships. Forget your debts and oaths. Destroy it before it is too late. Before a portal is ripped open so wide that there can be no undoing it.
Her head whipped around as if she heard something.
Oh, there is no time. You must win this competition. Become the king's champion. You understand the people's plight. Aurelia needs you as the king's champion.
But what is... The queen reached into her pocket.
They must not catch you here. If they do, all will be lost. Wear this.
She pushed something cold and metallic into Celaena's hand.
It will protect you from harm.
She yanked Celaena to the door.
You were led here tonight, but not by me. I was led here too. Someone wants you to learn. Someone wants you to see.
Her head snapped to the side as a growl ripped through the air.
They are coming.
But I don't understand. I'm not who you think I am. Queen Elena put her hands on Celaena's shoulders and kissed her forehead.
Courage of the heart is very rare. Let it guide you.
A distinct howl shook the walls and made Celaena's blood icy.
Go,
said the queen, shoving Celaena into the hallway.
Run!
Celaena bolts, heart pounding, all the way back to her room. She barely registers her bed before everything goes dark.
Yeah, my heart's pounding too.
Yeah, I think mine is too, actually.
I'm a little out of breath on that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and not only that, but that was a lot. That was a lot we learned. So after that, morning comes, and Celaena wakes up thoroughly rattled from that dream, as we all would be, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, what's in her hand? It's not Chaol's ring. It's a gold amulet, about the size of a coin, with a blue gem at its center shaped like an eye. Around it are 2 overlapping circles etched with a fine line slicing through them. A word mark, possibly?
It sounds like it kind of matches some of the other symbology that we've seen so far.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
She glances at the tapestry across the room, and wouldn't you know it, it shifted. The secret door behind it, slightly ajar. Celaena groans, running a hand through her hair. She's officially over this. Just once could she wake up to something normal. Someone please cut her some slack. And I agree. Been here 10 damn days, and now this just dropped on her?
Oh, she'll be okay. She better close that door, though. She puts on the amulet and began thinking of her dream and the words spoken to her by Elena. Wait, put on the amulet and began thinking of a dream? We'll get back to that. Becoming the king's champion? Cake. But finding and destroying the evil lurking in the castle? That's a whole different mess. She already has enough to deal with. Still, if something is threatening her friends, the least she could do is check the tomb for some clues. Anything to shed light on Elena's purpose. And if she comes up empty, she gave it a shot. A phantom breeze drifts into the room, carrying the scent of roses as Celaena finally slips into an uneasy sleep.
Okay, real quick, you said she put on the amulet, began thinking of her dream. Why did you say you wanted to get back to that?
Where did she get the amulet? She said she was dreaming.
Freddy Krueger. That's how it works in Freddy Krueger. So
I don't know anything about that. I don't.
I know you never watched it, so here's how it worked. In order to kill Freddy Krueger, they had to bring him out of the dream to kill him. But they didn't know if they could do it. So what they did was they started with his hat. They got a hold of his hat. And when she woke up, she burned herself to wake up. And she had the hat in her hand. It was like, oh, we can bring this dude out and kill him. And they do. And then 5, 6 sequels later, here we are. Actually, probably 7, because I forgot about Freddy versus Jason. Which is a good one, by the way. I highly recommend. She falls into an uneasy sleep. Hopefully she gets at least a little bit of sleep. So, do you think she was dreaming?
No. How'd she get an amulet if she was dreaming?
Freddy Krueger, I'm telling you.
Ugh. I don't know. I guess we could ask SJM if Freddy Krueger was on her mind when she came up with this.
I mean, that could be why she wasn't touching the walls.
What do you mean?
You don't touch stuff in his dreams. When Freddy Krueger has you in his dreams, you're not touching anything. You don't know what's going to happen.
I'm going to message her and see if she'll shed some light on this.
She has seen the same horror movies as us.
Yeah, that is very weird that she wasn't touching the walls.
Yeah, I find that weird too. Hopefully we'll find out why.
Yeah. Well, when she's down there, after not touching the wall, she finds those 2 sarcophagi, which we find out are the first king and queen of Adarlan. And we find out that Dorian's lineage is Fae.
Yeah, so his great great, 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 great. We don't know how many greats. Grandmother is Faye.
Yeah.
And also Brandon's daughter.
Which is the king of the Oakwald Forest.
Yes, who Celaena believes is still alive, but a lot of people think that he's dead. But that forest they still feel is haunted, so he might be alive.
Interesting.
And
what?
That who sent them together?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Is it Brandon's magic? Because remember, he's Fae, so he's got to have magic, right?
I would assume so.
And he would be super powerful if he's the father of Elena.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Okay,
all right.
so tinfoil hat, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that might not be that big of a stretch, though.
And someone's been watching Celaena since birth.
Exactly.
Also.
Who better than your great 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 grandfather to watch you, right?
Do you just assume that he's immortal?
He's Fae. I mean, the Fae and Akatar were immortal.
Fair. Speaking of Akatar, do we think these portals connect to the other Sarah J. Maas worlds?
I feel like that would be the easiest way to connect them.
That would be really cool.
So we haven't read Crescent City.
No.
But we do know that they connect with Akatar.
Okay.
We don't know how.
Mm-mm.
I refuse to find out, so please do not tell us, because we do plan on reading that series. But, I mean, these portals make sense.
Yeah, that would be an easy way, to transform.
All right, let's talk about what else possibly came out of this portal, this creature.
Yeah, whatever's growling. Ooh. Do you think it's Cain?
I think it's still Gray Eyes.
I think it's the king.
I think it's Gray Eyes, and I think that the ring that Cain has is a protection stone, because I still believe it's the same material as the tower, the black stone.
What if Duke Perrington is controlling the beast and Cain is protected with the stone?
That very well could be. Tinfoil hats are on, and that's okay because there's still a lot going on, and we just learned a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry we didn't cover everything we learned in this chapter, or else we'd probably be here for like a 4-hour episode. Especially with this chapter alone. All right, you ready to move on?
I am. Let's move on to chapter 26.
On to chapter 26.
The hunt for truth and trust.
The door flies open and a very grumpy Chaol storms in. Celaena, candlestick in hand, groans when she realizes it's him.
Don't you ever sleep?
She mutters, flopping back into bed. Chaol's not amused. He yanks the blankets off and hauls her up, hand on his sword. Where were you last night? She smirks, holding up the ring he gave her.
Right here, where you left me.
Ever the Chaol chip, he steps closer. The rest of the night, Celaena? Where were you? They lock eyes. He's disheveled, which is so not Chaol. Boots probably not shined. No starch on his uniform. We both remember BDUs when we were in. You remember that.
Yeah, you rolled out of bed in those.
Oh, yeah. Well, enough joking around. Whatever this is, it's serious, and he's not here to play.
So she reminds him that they have a test in the morning, but he shuts that down. The test is canceled. Another champion was found dead this morning.
What? Who?
Yeah. Xavier, the thief from Melisande. He was half-eaten. She snarks about beastly Cain, while silently wondering if it's tied to the evil that Elena warned her about. He warns her to be careful who she accuses, since Cain is Duke Perrington's champion, while she's the crown princess.
She seemed very upset about that one.
Yeah, he kind of took Cain's side out of nowhere, like, hey, be careful who you talk about.
Well, not only that, but I thought a little bit of trust was bonding between the two, and now he is, where have you been?
Yeah, he demands to know again where she is, so he doesn't believe her when she says, I was here. She insists again that her guards can verify, I was here all night. Then she twists the knife. That Chaol can also vouch for her, couldn't he? Another ring reference.
That is true. He was creepily in her room giving her that ring. Speaking of, cue his blush because of that statement. He mutters something about there being no lesson today, which Celaena takes as her cue to flop back in bed.
Great. I'll sleep another 5 hours,
she says, dismissing him with closed eyes, completely missing the Darth Vader death stare he shoots her way. But sleep? Yeah. No, not happening. Another champion's been eaten. Last night wasn't just some weird fever dream.
I knew it.
It was real. And the screeching from last night, did whatever make that sound kill Xavier?
I'm not sleeping.
I'm not sleeping either. And I can see why she's not sleeping.
Nope.
So she's up in a flash. It's time to fortify.
Get your weapons.
Yeah, we're going to MacGyver some weapons. And I'm sorry to all the younger listeners who don't know MacGyver. He was good at making things out of things.
That was one of my favorite TV shows as a kid.
I think that's the best way to explain it, is explain him. He could just make anything out of anything. It was crazy. So she locks the door and without a second thought, slips back into the tomb.
Well, pacing the tomb, She is very upset at the lack of answers. There is no clarity on Elena's motives or what this evil might be. A stray sunbeam glints on something, though. There's a grate in the ceiling. It's lined with gold. She pauses at Elena's sarcophagus, the blue gem in the crown pulsing faintly. It's interesting. And then she boops Elena's nose.
I love that she did that. That is totally her.
Yeah. And she's muttering, why me? Why not Dorian? Why not Chaol or Nehemia? Why does someone dead for 1,000 years care about Aurelia? Who said she was dead?
Time's rift.
Yeah. What if she's just from a different time? From a different portal?
Astral projection?
Maybe. Maybe that tomb upside down means something.
Well, unfortunately, instead of answers, she gets crickets. But someone's bound to check on her room soon. And let's be real, no one's going to buy the story of the first queen of Adeland gave me some very important mission. They will think she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
For sure.
But we got to focus, win the competition, become the king's champion, then maybe figure out where the evil's lurking around here. Maybe.
Well, an hour later, Celaena is flanked by guards and is smirking at the court women as she passed by. Rightfully so. She looks stunning.
Is she still in that dress from last night?
No, she's wearing a different dress.
Oh, okay.
And she passes by a pale nobleman who seems about to speak to her and makes note that she just walks on by, not willing to even pause to speak with him. And she's headed toward the sound of raised male voices. And it's the unmistakable stench of blood and decomposition.
Nice. We get to see the body.
Delicious. And we find out that half-eaten was a generous description. His chest cavity is split wide open. He has no innards left.
Gross.
His face is stripped of flesh. The crown of his head is empty, and his brain is gone. The wall is smeared with blood, and there are 3 word marks barely visible, though clearly there used to be like a full circle going around there. It looks like they were kind of smeared.
All right, so I'm going to run in the bathroom and vomit real quick.
You should.
Yeah, but seriously, he thought she did this?
That's quite the accusation.
This wouldn't be her style, and those word marks, ritualistic, that's too messy of a kill for her. Now, Graves saunters into view. Not to be outdone, Celaena pipes up first.
Too bad.
Graves shrugs, such a pity, and keeps moving. She nods. There are only 16 champions left now. She wanted to thank whatever grim god decided to take Xavier's life, but for some reason she couldn't.
Cut to swordplay. Dorian versus Chaol. Dorian is a little rusty, thanks to all those meetings and bookish habits, and Chaol is much sharper. Their banter shifts, and now they're grilling each other about why the other was at Celaena's room the night before.
Yeah, the collective would like to know as well, boys.
Yes, we all want to know. And tensions are rising. Chaol pokes at Dorian's distaste for court life, and then it hits Dorian. Chaol should be at the murder scene, not here. He's taking up his friend's work time.
Dorian calls it quits, letting Chaol get back to work. But as they head out, Chaol asks about the king's whereabouts. This could be huge. Dorian shrugs, casually dismissing the question. No clue. He used to disappear like this when we were kids. Probably off doing something heinous. Chaol shoots him a disapproving look.
You shouldn't talk about your father like that.
God, I love your Chaol voice. I love that. Oh, your Chaol voice is classic. Dorian snaps back, sharp and tired of the lecture. And maybe you shouldn't pretend he's anything other than what he is.
I hope it's not a pattern, Chaol mutters. Bro, how many times before you call it a pattern? Really?
Yeah, it's nothing but champions being killed.
And it's almost in the exact same manner, like...
That's the definition of pattern.
I was actually going to look up the Merriam-Webster definition of pattern, but I got distracted.
Well, here's my thing. You're 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You got 0 detective skills. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Like, you were way too young to be in charge.
But he's a captain of the King's Guard, so maybe he's not running into a whole bunch of serial killer beasts that are ripping people apart.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, Dorian shifts gears and he asks if Celaena is safe. And Chaol, already stressed, mentions adding more guards around her room already. Dorian, sharp.
To protect her or to keep her in?
Chaol, bitter and defeated. What difference does it make? You'll visit her anyways. Guards won't stop you. You're the prince.
Dorian almost feels bad. Almost. Chaol's got enough on his plate. Then he remembers the list of eligible brides his mother handed him and figures he's done too. Chaol heads off to inspect Xavier's body, promising to meet Dorian for dinner. Dorian's walk back to his tower feels longer. Usually solitude is exactly what he wants. Today, it just feels empty. Does he feel their feelings for Celaena is causing a rift between them?
Do you think that that's what the walk back to the tower was about? Like why it felt longer?
Yeah, I think he feels sad because he knows that his best friend has the same feelings, but he feels like he's not going to stop with his own feelings for Celaena because it says that he feels bad almost.
But he doesn't feel bad. I don't know that he knows that Chaol has feelings for her. Dorian feels bad because he knows that Chaol's right, that no matter what he says, he's going to go visit her anyways. So that's what he feels bad about.
I can see that. All right, so another champion dead.
Oh, no.
And as we said, there's a pattern.
Yeah, the pattern.
Only
Come on, Chaol.
other than the dogs.
It's not a brawl in a bar room.
Yeah, it's only the champions other than the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Chaol just can't put two and two together.
Come on, bro.
Where the hell's the king?
Let's put our tinfoil hat on.
He's either the killer or he's controlling the killer. That's a possibility.
Okay. Controlling the beast that's coming out of the portal?
Yes, maybe he's the one who drew it out. Maybe that's what that tower's for.
Oh, okay, maybe.
And maybe that's, I know we're saying maybe a lot. That's because it's tinfoil hat time. And maybe that's why Cain has the ring to protect him.
Maybe it's not to protect him. Maybe the ring is actually to help him summon. Maybe Cain is summoning.
It could be Cain summoning.
Anyways. Woo.
Or he could just be simply checking the war front.
Ooh, do we know if the king knows how to use the portals? The time portals.
That's a good question. We don't know too much about the portals yet.
No.
We just know that there are portals.
All right.
So Celaena is also trying to balance everything she has going on now that she has to save everyone.
That's a lot.
And it doesn't help that Chaol's always up her ass and Dorian just shows up randomly at her place. She's got no time for herself. And when she does, some not ghost visits her and puts the world on her shoulders.
Yeah. It's like just things keep piling up one on top of the other.
And it just keeps getting more and more and more.
As the champions are dwindling, I'm wondering if it'll feel even worse.
But I'm wondering why she's not being targeted. I wonder if someone's protecting her. Maybe the someone who set her up with Elena is somehow protecting her. Because I would think that...
Well, that's what the amulet's for, right? That she just got from Elena.
Yeah, but she just got the amulet, and there's been, 4 or 5 champions dead already, so why is it...
Chaol's been up her butt the whole time. I understand what you're saying. Maybe just luck of the draw at this point. But I doubt it. I feel like someone's definitely controlling, and when we find out who it is, we'll find out their motive behind who they picked in that order.
Okay, agreed. All right, you ready to move on?
Yeah, I am. Let's do it.
Welcome to Chapter 27.
Word gates and Walking Dead. Celaena is staring up at the unmoving gargoyles, or guardians, as Elena called them, perched ominously on the dark clock tower. What were they guarding? Why was Elena so afraid of them?
Because they are scary looking. I still want my buddy gargoyle.
I know you
Or
do.
the gargoyles from Disney's show when we were kids. You remember that?
Yep, I do.
They need to bring that back. You hear me, Disney? Bring back gargoyles.
Bring them back. The 12 word marks circling the tower didn't help her unease. She shakes her head. Focus. There is no time to solve this mystery right now. Not with the tests demanding her attention. Beside her, Nehemia catches the fixation and raises an eyebrow. With a mix of curiosity and concern, she warns, "Stop meddling, Lillian. No good will come of it."
Yeah, so Nehemia shifts the conversation because she is obviously terrified of the word and the word marks, which we'll talk about at the end of this chapter. And soon they're joking about their mutual hatred for Rifthold, especially now that it's winter. She teases that Lillian should come back to Elway during the blistering summer to really appreciate the cold. We get it. It's freezing here now in Florida. 2 days, I'm already over it.
I am way over it.
Definitely over it. The topic shifts again, this time to the latest gruesome murder. Lillian tries to spare the princess the gory details, but Nehemia? Oh no, she's all in, eating it up, all the pun intended.
Gross. Oh, great. Here comes Cain, dragging along Varen, his personal parasite. Cain's goading starts before he even stops walking, his words designed to hit her where it hurts.
Hit me, Lillian. Let's see what that year in Endovia really taught you.
His voice lowers, a dagger aimed at her heart.
You think you're the only one whose sponsor is willing to do anything to win? You think your prince and captain are the only ones who know what you are?
Celaena's stomach churns. What does he mean by anything? And who exactly knows her secret?
Uh-oh.
Well, Duke Perrington knows her secret.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I would tell Cain, too, if I were Duke Perrington.
Now, our girl knows 2 blows and Cain would be flat on the ground on his ass. But before she can make a move, Nehemia steps in, pulling her out of the situation.
Good friend.
Very good friend. Not, of course, before Cain gets in one more assholish remark. Celaena grits her teeth, knowing she can't hit him. If she does, Kale Chip would ground her. Instead, she shoots back.
Shove it up your ass, Cain.
Of course, they laugh like the assholes they are, but the ladies walk away, heads held high. And for the first time in a long while, Celaena feels a flicker of something she's almost forgotten. What it's like to have someone watching her back. And we love this for her.
She's got a bestie. I love it. Aw. Well, the scene shifts again to Chaol and Dorian observing Celaena from the mezzanine. Why are they being creepy again? Chaol invited the prince to witness her sparring firsthand to show him how dangerous she really is. And Dorian is actually impressed by her improvements and asks how she'll hold up against Cain. Chaol's answer is measured. She's got the skill, sure, but her emotions, her pride again, and anger,
which we mentioned, so Chaol has definitely noticed it as well.
They make her unpredictable, and unpredictability in a fight can be deadly. Chaol watches her closely, trying to piece together what's fueling the rage, but whatever it is, it's becoming a liability.
Yeah, she needs to get that rage under control a little bit. Dorian spots Nox approaching Celaena and notices she's laughing, having a marvelous time. Chaol casually mentions that she's been helping Nox, which catches Dorian off guard. It's not every day Celaena willingly gets along with others. Impressed, Dorian tells Chaol it's fine to let them train together since allies could be useful, then turns and walks away. But even with his back turned, Chaol can sense the flicker of jealousy Dorian's trying to hide. Chaol wonders if inviting the prince into this whole mess was such a good idea after all.
A few days later, Celaena is buried in the library, deep in research. Chaol is hovering nearby, amused by her perpetual nose-in-the-book state.
You're always reading,
he teases. She ignores the jab, though he notes the lighter tone in his voice. Was Chaol Westfall lighthearted?
There's no way.
No way.
He was actually joking. So we don't get to use this?
I mean, maybe not right now, but still as irritating as he can be. She's starting to tolerate him. So that's progress.
That's definitely progress.
I like
Good
it.
for him. She slams the tome shut, frustration boiling over. Word marks. What are they? And where do they even come from? Hours of searching, she hasn't learned a damn thing. Chaol, ever observant, asks why she's so frustrated.
I'm curious about the word marks.
She replies casually, which is technically true, just not the whole truth. This is where we'll dive into the book, because everything about the word and word marks is crucial, so buckle up.
All I can find is just radical and outlandish theories. I never knew any of this. Why? Some books claim the word is the force that holds together and governs Aurelia, and not just Aurelia, countless other worlds too.
All right, so I want to pause real quick. I like the word force, that the word is the force. Star Wars reference.
Of course.
Like it. Yeah. All right, diving back in, coming in as Chaol. I've heard it all before. I always thought the word was an old term for fate or destiny.
So did I, but the word isn't a religion, at least not in the northern part of the continent, and it's not included in the worship of the goddess or the gods.
Is there a point to this beyond your obsession with those marks in the garden? Are you that bored?
No, yes, it's interesting. Some theories suggest the mother goddess is just a spirit from one of these other worlds, and that she strayed through something called a word gate and found Aurelia in need of form and life.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Chaol says, that sounds a little sacrilegious. Shocking he would end it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But then Chaol's mind flashes to memories of fire and screams from 10 years ago. Burnings and executions he'll never forget, no matter how hard he tries. Celaena's voice snaps him back as she shares what she's learned about the word, each word adding weight to the room.
Chaol shrugs her off, telling her to find something else to occupy her time, clearly unimpressed by her fixation on word marks. Typical captain of the guard. Everything has to be practical, immediate, black and white.
No time for gray areas.
Celaena, of course, ignores him entirely. She dives back into her research, this time focusing on word gates. The descriptions are unsettling. Gates that were both invisible and real. Doorways that could be summoned using word marks, allowing creatures to slip in and out of Aurelia. And then her attention catches on a book sitting next to her, one she definitely doesn't remember picking up. Its title, The Walking Dead. And it smells just as bad. Honestly, she'd probably be a fan of the show.
I was definitely a fan of the show, at least
Me
until
too.
the whole Negan incident. I don't know if you remember that.
I didn't make it that far.
Let's just say baseball bat and Glenn. Real quick, I want to touch on this because for some reason, it just hit me. So when it says that the gates were both invisible and real, doorways could be summoned using word marks, allowing creatures to slip in. You mentioned that the king could have created one of these portals because it says that they can do it using word marks. There's a whole tower surrounded by word marks. So maybe
Is
that's
that
the portal.
What?
There we go. Jinx, Homie,
I like it.
When she opened the book, she expected to find something about the word or word gates. Instead, she was met with a half-decayed face grinning up at her. Oh, that's creepy as hell. The creature's expression twisted into malice. It locked eyes on hers. All right, can we stop with the eyes following us everywhere thing?
Well, that's the whole artist's point. It's supposed to follow you. It's creepy. It's meant to
But
be
is this
creepy.
an artist or is this just a creepy book with ghosts that live inside of it?
I don't
That's
know.
what it seems
this
like.
book sounds really...
Yeah, her heart's pounding. My heart's pounding. She slams the book shut.
Rightfully so.
Exactly. If the king knew this book existed, it would have been burned years ago.
Undoubtedly. Sounds like a lot of those books in there might have been.
Well, it's magic, obviously.
Yeah, they're talking about word marks, so all of those books should be destroyed.
Yeah.
And then she hears it.
What?
A deep guttural noise. Not quite human, not quite animal.
Okay.
The hair on her arms stands on end.
Yep, mine is too.
Did you hear that?
Nope.
she whispers, scanning the dim edges of the library for movement. Chaol, ever the beacon of helpfulness, doesn't even glance up.
When do you plan on leaving?
And then scrape beneath her feet. Quote, the hair on her arms rose, and she almost stumbled into the nearest table as she waited for something. A hand, a wing, a gaping, fanged mouth to appear and grab her.
I'm so scared right now.
Do you feel that? She asked Chaol, who slowly, maliciously grinned.
It's the monster, isn't it?
He held out his dagger and dragged it on the marble floor.
That piece of shit.
Creating the exact sound and feeling.
All right. That was smooth. Chaol Smoothie is back, ladies and gentlemen. Chaol Smoothie, the ever cheeky Chaol.
Yeah. Damn idiot, she snarls. She grabs 2 of the books and stalks from the library. And she left The Walking Dead there in the library.
Just
Good
like
call.
we all left The Walking Dead far behind as well.
Yes, we did. All right, well, that was a lot in this chapter.
Chaol Smoothie's back.
Yeah.
That was really good, especially scaring an assassin who usually always has her wits about her.
Mm-hmm. What's up with the 12 word marks? And why do none of them match anything that she's already seen in her research? Do we think they're part of that portal now?
Yes, but do you think they're runes or hieroglyphics?
I think
A language?
runes. They sound like runes, but I don't know.
I mean, if it opens gates... Oh, you ever seen Stargate?
A long time ago.
Okay, do you remember it had like that big circle dial and it had all the different symbols on it, and then you had to like dial each symbol
Line them
in
all up.
correctly?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you had to do here. So there could be the 12 symbols in a circle,
What if you have to press on them in,
like in a certain
specific order?
What? All right, so
Okay.
our tinfoil hat is working today, baby.
All right. And Cain knows about them, and he also knows who she is. And we know the Duke told him.
Yeah, like you said, we're not shocked the Duke told him, but she's probably a little worried about telling Chaol. I mean, it's obvious the Duke knows.
Yeah. And he mentions Dorian isn't the only sponsor willing to do anything to win. What does that mean?
Could be unleashing the creature.
But what does he think that they're doing? That they went and got Adderlin's assassin and that's what they're accused? Okay.
Yes.
That's got to be the only thing, unless he's accusing her of killing the other champions.
That is a possibility, but now that we kind of probably figured out that tower is a portal and that the stone might be made from the same, that his ring might be made from the same stone. Remember, the king is betting on Cain to win.
That's true. Yep. All signs point to Cain right now.
That makes sense why the king's gone. Why be in the castle when you unleashed a gnarly creature? I wouldn't be in the castle either. Like, I just unleashed this gnarly creature. I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let this creature do its thing. Here's some protection stones for you and for you.
I don't think it stays out.
You think it's summoned?
I think it is summoned to do something
Okay.
and sent back. So someone is controlling it, is my thought. Because how are you going to control a beast that you...
Okay, so maybe the king pulled it out for them, gave them the rings to control it.
Okay. Maybe that's what it is.
Because I don't think that anyone's, other than Gray Eyes maybe, because, I still don't trust him. It's just me. It's the Gray Eyes.
I know.
But I just don't think Cain is turning into anything because we know that he's from the White Fang Mountains and he's some giant guy or whatever.
Well, speaking of your gray-eyed friend, Dorian finds out that Celaena is helping him. And I think it's good for her to have allies.
Yeah, even though it's him, but I mean...
Even though it's Gray Eyes, yes.
You can shoot an arrow. She did have to save his ass once.
Yeah, but there is a little bit of jealousy.
Yes.
And Chaol notices. I didn't notice that Chaol was jealous, though.
I think he is jealous because he definitely knows that Dorian has a thing for her, and obviously Chaol has a thing, and that's why I'm really hoping that their friendship doesn't get hurt by this.
Yeah, me too.
But they seem like boys. I think there might be like a little bit of tension here and there, but at the end, I think they'll come together and,
Isn't it bros before hoes anyways?
It's bros before hoes, but honestly, girls can be bros, and I think Celaena, even though they both like her with feelings, is still becoming one of the bros.
That's true. She's part of the team.
Just foreshadowing here. Well, not foreshadowing. This is just a guess. I think she might end up with Dorian, and Chaol might end up being like the big brother type, and they might end up being like besties. Might be like another bestie.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wait, do I have that? Where is that? There it is.
But we do notice that Chaol is guarding her in the library instead of her usual entourage of guards. So he is intentionally spending more time with her. Do we think that because he is suspicious that she is the beast? Because he accused her already.
I think he was just disheveled. I mean, it did say he was disheveled.
Do you think he was just kind of spun up about it?
I think it was just like his emotions, and he was having to deal with another murder, and he was like, well, where were you? And, just being upset.
Okay.
But I think that he was there because he likes her.
I think so too, especially with that flirtation.
And not just but I think he likes her company. I think because again, he's messing with her now with the sword scrape.
And calling her a book nerd, basically.
Yeah, so I mean, I know we give Chaol shit, and it's just fun for us, and we'll continue to give Chaol shit, but I mean, their little friendships blossoming, and it's beautiful.
I like it. I like their friendship so far.
All right.
But we do need to know more about the word.
Do you know the word?
No, what is the word?
Said the bird's the word. All right, I apologize, everybody. That was definitely a Family Guy reference. Peter Griffin, if you have not seen that, one of our favorites.
Love that one.
We just had to throw that one in there for everybody before we close this chapter. All right, speaking of closing
Perfect
chapters,
ending.
are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
And now, chapter 28.
A game of billiards. Back in her room, our assassin is discovering her profound lack of talent for billiards. What is billiards?
It's pool.
It's pool.
It's basically...
Why don't you just say pool then?
Because pool does not sound good for rich people. Billiard sounds more fancy.
Okay.
So, like, there are billiard halls and there are pool halls. And billiard halls, you would see in more like a richy neighborhood where they're smoking cigars or drinking brandy and they're toasting each other and, you know, hitting the pool balls and everything. Now, billiard balls for them. Sorry. A pool hall is filled with Marlboro and Newport smoke. Lots of probably like Miller Lite, pretty much any light beer.
And dude bros?
Definitely dude bros and probably about 5 or 6 fights in one night.
All right. Well,
that's probably what you're going to see
I'm
at
going
a
to go
pool
to a
hall.
billiard hall then.
Yeah, I
All
wouldn't
right.
go to either, honestly.
Well, she needed a break from the endless cycle of training and researching, so she wandered into the gaming room. She was too tired for music and unable to play cards alone, so she picked billiards.
Billiards.
And for the last hour, she's been trying and failing miserably. Her frustration peaks with a missed shot that sends the cue ball flying off the table.
She's an assassin. Why is she missing?
What do you mean? It takes skill to play pool. It's not archery. She practiced archery.
You are aiming.
That's not the same.
She hit the bullseye 70 yards away. She can't hit a cue ball.
It is not the same. Anyway, so she screams at the ball, then bit the cue shaft in a moment of pure unhinged rage. I feel that.
Okay.
I
So,
feel that.
all right. So we got her a little bit of her anger there.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, wait. Here comes Dorian. For the world's greatest assassin, this is just sad.
Dorian's smug drawl broke the tense silence. He stood in the doorway, grinning like a cat with a trapped mouse.
See, he thinks it's sad too. He agrees that for the world's greatest assassin, that is just sad the way she's playing.
Anyways, Celaena whips around, as I would have, her glare promising violence, which mine also would have.
Looks like you're promising violence against me right now.
But before she can deliver on that promise, he saunters in, radiating that infuriating mix of charm and mockery. That's really annoying when you guys do that, by the way.
What's that?
Like, we're trying to be mad. Like, don't swagger in like that.
That's what he's good at. It's his princely riz.
Anyways.
Speaking of princely riz, need a lesson, O mighty assassin? She scoffs as he smoothly lines up a shot and sinks it with ease. When he tries to take her pull cue and help her with her grip, she hip checks him out of the way.
I know how to hold it.
She snaps, lining up her shot, and then she misses again. Dorian's laugh echoes through the room, and she's already regretting not hitting him with the cue instead.
And now, the pièce de résistance, the shameless classic move. Here, let me help you take the shot. Let me put my hand over your hand.
Hey, that's that old school
The
riz.
smooth, yeah.
Old school riz.
Princely Riz again. But the moment he leans in, his confidence falters a little bit, and he feels a blush creep up over his face. But she's also blushing. She takes the shot, and when it miraculously sinks, he quips,
See? You just needed to do it properly.
Celaena snorts, lines up another shot, and misses spectacularly. There's that pride again.
Care for a game?
He asks, the challenge in his tone impossible to ignore.
So they played until 2 a.m., fueled by desserts, courtesy of room service, perks of hanging out with the prince.
Heck yeah.
Dorian won every game, of course, but Celaena made sure to shamelessly brag every time she hit the ball.
Why not?
Heaven help him, though, if she missed. Her curses probably could be heard halfway around the castle like she was auditioning for a role on Succession.
Very nice.
Between the laughter and playful bickering, the conversation turned to books. Celaena spoke at length, her passion spilling out like she was afraid she might never get the chance to talk about them again. Dorian listened, captivated, not just by her words, but by the fire behind them.
Somewhere along the way, he promised to take her to a play.
First date!
After the competition. Yay, first date! Now, as they relaxed in their chairs, dessert plates empty, he asked,
What are you thinking about? She hesitated, then murmured,
the murders, were they intentional?
Perhaps.
He said carefully.
Does it matter? Her gaze turned distant.
No, never mind.
A moment later, she fell asleep.
Dorian studied her sleeping form, curiosity pulling at him. He wanted to know everything about her. Every hidden story, every scar. Quietly, he gathered the billiard equipment and returned to her side. Shaking her gently, he murmured,
"You'll regret sleeping here."
Celaena groggily shuffled toward her room and promptly collided with a doorpost. Stifling a laugh, Dorian helps her toward her bedroom, trying to ignore the warmth of her skin beneath his hand.
Hey, I know how it is when you are super sleepy and you're trying to go to bed and it's dark and you just don't want to open your eyes. You just run into things.
Yeah.
You just don't care anymore.
Nope. It was very nice of him to help.
Yeah, speaking of sleepy, she mumbles something about his books being by the bed, and he steps inside, moving slowly. His eyes flick to the 3 candles still burning. They should probably be blown out too. "Good night, Celaena," he says softly. It's the first time he's ever addressed her by name.
Ooh, that's significant, right?
Oh, he's definitely fallen in love. 100% fallen in love. As he turns to leave, something catches his eye. A necklace glittering at her throat. It's the amulet. Why does it feel so familiar to him? He lingers for a moment, questioning, swirling. Was this the real her, or just another mask to get what she wanted? He doesn't want to believe it's all an act. Not her. Not this time.
Ooh-wee. It's a lot of flirty flirt in this chapter.
A lot of flirty flirt. And
Seems like there's some feelings.
It's definitely feelings. Cute. They got their first date lined up.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell it's written by a 16-year-old.
Yeah, it's got the cutesy high school feel good. I love it.
Like a little
It's
high
very
school
cute.
musical.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I love it. Reminds me of being in high school again. I like it.
I mean, SJM was 16, so we get it. Dorian is definitely trying very hard to penetrate her walls, and she has them fortified. But he also has his walls up too.
Well, I mean, she's an assassin and he's the crown prince. They are natural enemies, so they haven't quite made to that level of trust yet, would be my guess.
Yeah, it's also a level of trust, but I also think Dorian has never been open with anyone or any woman because to them, he was just a playboy.
Yeah, that's true.
So he never got a chance to open up to anyone. But I mean, it even says that he wanted to know everything about her, every hidden story, every scar.
Well, that's because he had great conversation with her. He was able to talk to her and they were able to communicate about history and politics. And that's not something that he's used to being able to talk to other women about.
Yeah, but a guy like him who's just used to just using women as playthings doesn't think of any just random person like this. That I want to know every hidden story, every scar. He wants to know all about this woman. So like I said, he is falling in love with her and he's never felt this way before, which is, I think, is why he's scared to open up as well.
Well, probably because of what's her name? Rosamund?
Yeah, Rosamund, and she has Sam.
Yeah.
Which is very hard for both of them to open up.
Yeah, it's all still fresh and new. They're young.
Speaking of opening up, that amulet fell out and he was like, oh, this seems familiar. What is that?
Yeah. Maybe he feels a magical connection to it.
I mean, it's very possible since we just found out he's Fae.
What if it's just in one of the paintings in like the Great Hall or something? Like of the queen and it just...
Oh, that he just saw it and like could be in the subconscious.
Yeah. Like, oh, I've seen that. But maybe it's in like every single picture of every single queen of Adderland. And then all of a sudden she has it. Sorry, I just fell in the tinfoil ocean.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Sorry. Hopefully you don't start drowning in
I
there.
hope not. I went really far out there with that one.
Sometimes you just gotta wade in the tinfoil hat. You don't want to like go too
Just
deep.
dive in?
Yeah, you just dove like head first.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, I'm back.
Okay, so we're back.
Yeah. Interesting.
We're going to keep it simple. We're going to go with possible attached to his lineage and he just feels familiar with it.
Maybe a magical calling.
It could be calling him as well. So you ready to move on to chapter 29?
I am.
Here we go, chapter 29.
Blades, blood, and broken egos.
It's test day, and today's challenge is all about dueling, hopefully to the death.
Oh, good.
Each champion pairs off with a sparring partner. Their performance judged by Brello to decide who's getting eliminated. Aw, so not to the death?
It doesn't sound like it. Sweetie, this isn't one of your John Gwen books.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
I know, I'm sorry.
Across the room, Kane and Grave are already going at it. And to everyone's surprise, Grave is holding his own, at least for a little while. Kane, however, he's barely working up a sweat. This is too easy for him. He's toying with Grave. When Kane finally gets the upper hand, Celaena can't help but tense. Baron, Kane's little weasel of a sidekick, notices and smirks, clearly enjoying her frustration.
And because Varen is apparently contractually obligated to be the worst, he starts running his mouth, throwing cheap insults at Celaena. After some classic back and forth where she verbally body slams him, Brello decides to cut the tension the old-fashioned way by making them face off in the ring.
Hell yeah. Whoop his ass. Whoop his ass.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't even close.
Whooped his ass. Whooped his ass.
Yeah, Varen pulls his sword out like he's got something to prove, and Celaena doesn't even bother to unsheath her sword. She one punch disarms him. Another punch takes out his other arm for good measure, because why stop there? Kick to the chest to send him sprawling outside of the ring. Game, set, match.
She was just toying with that little weasel.
The mic drop moment, Celaena turns to Brullo and hits him with this quote. Here's a lesson for you, weapons master. Give me real men to fight, then maybe I'll bother trying. Wow.
Absolute legend.
Mock me again, she spat at Varen, and I'll do that with my sword the next time.
She turned from him and found Brello's face slack.
Here's a lesson for you, weapons master.
She said, stalking past him.
Give me real men to fight, then maybe I'll bother trying.
She strode away past the grinning Nox and stopped before Cain. She stared up at his face, a face that might have been handsome had it not been a bastard, and smiled with sweet venom.
Here I am,
She said, squaring her shoulders.
just a little lapdog.
Cain's black eyes gleamed. All I hear is yapping. Her hand itched toward her sword, but she kept it at her side.
Let's see if you still hear yapping when I win this competition.
Before he could say more, she stalked to the water table. Only Nox dare speak to her after that. Surprisingly, Chaol didn't reprimand her either.
Maybe he was impressed.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed. Okay, so that's like a UFC fight that you paid for?
That was like that Tyson fight back in the 80s where he knocked dude out in like, what was it, like 13 seconds, I think.
All this hype, and then 2 seconds later, it's done.
Oh, there's no hype in Varen. He's a little weasel. He's a brown-nosing little shit.
But he was trying to hype himself up.
No one else was hyping him up, though. He was hyping Cain up, but Cain was...
Kane's just about himself. Yeah, Kane knows. Maybe Varen doesn't know who she is.
Maybe.
Later, back in her room, the adrenaline fades, leaving only the quiet fall of snow outside her window. Celaena watches the flakes drift, feeling empty. Her thoughts spiral. She was stranded in a world of glass. She leaves the window but stops before the tapestry. She had wished for adventure, for someone who truly understood her, a loyal friend who would stand by her side. But she was alone. She always had been. Except for Sam. She would give anything to have Sam with her now. Her hand drifts to her amulet, clutching it tightly. Somehow it felt comforting, familiar even.
She takes a step back to get a better look at the entire scope of the tapestry. A stag now stood in the center, its gaze fixed on Elena.
Now, huh? Just now?
Yeah, just now. It just now appeared on the tapestry.
Is that what we're going with still?
That's what I'm going with.
All right. I don't believe that this stag appeared just now.
And why do you say that?
Because there are no words within the book that say that.
Do you need exact words to tell you that something appeared or something suddenly appeared?
Yeah, I would need that in that context right there.
Here's my argument.
Yes.
So when we first notice a tapestry in chapter 24, it does say there's animals on there, but it was very broad. Now, the stag, which I will eventually get to here shortly, is the symbol of her homeland, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it's in the middle of the tapestry, correct?
Yes.
Which, if someone's making an art piece, you want to draw the eyes to the middle, right?
I would imagine, yes.
Okay, another question.
Mm-hmm.
The United States, what is our animal?
A bald eagle?
Correct. And that is beat into us from day one, correct?
Yes.
So anytime we see a bald eagle, we think America, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if you went to someone's house and they had a tapestry with a silver-haired woman and you said, oh, look, there's animals, I'm pretty sure you would notice a bald eagle in the middle and be like, well, that's interesting. Just because it's beating your head psychologically that that's our animal, it may not mean something in the tapestry. I'm just saying that you would at least notice it.
Okay, hang on. Are we talking about the tapestry that was moving?
Yeah, so if it moves, it's magical.
So the tapestry that was moving, and she was more concerned about the fact that it was moving, not the fact that there was a stag maybe in the middle of the tapestry that all of a sudden appeared later?
All of it is still magic. Okay, the tapestry moving is magic. A stag magically appearing, staring at Elena. Magic.
So listen, it says, in the center stood a stag. If it had said one word different, in the center now stood a stag.
You need one
just
word.
One, just one
daggone word.
One to indicate that it was not there and is all of a sudden here.
Right. Give me your Kindle. I will type in a word for you. Will that help?
Can't type it in.
I got my book right here. I will literally write the word in now. But that's what it takes. to convince you that it magically appeared.
No, let's go back. Let's go back to your theory of the house thing. I understand that. That totally makes sense. However, and I was tracking with you until I remembered she was looking at the tapestry because it moved. Who's looking at the tapestry for a deer when the tapestry is moving?
I'm not saying she was looking for the deer, but she still noticed the woman the very first time.
But the woman is where the door is.
The woman is in the middle where the stag is.
No, the woman is in the corner by the door.
Where?
I'm almost 100%.
What page?
I'm almost 100% on that one.
You're almost.
I'm almost 100% on that one.
Wait, like,
hang on.
What's your percentage? Like, if we were an actual percentage right now, what's your percentage that she was on the side? She was
like,
a side
I'm
piece.
thinking bottom left.
Bottom left.
That's where I imagined was bottom left. She's in the corner, bottom corner somewhere, like normal, like human height. She's indicating where the door is. Would it be on the right side? I don't know. I haven't been.
No, she would be in the middle.
In the middle. Hang on. Right.
One eternity later.
Hang on. Right here. Panting, Celaena stepped back, surveying the tapestry. The woman's figure rose up from behind the wooden chest. With a jolt, she realized it was Elena. She stood just where the door was, a clever marker. That was freaky, the way they worded that. I'm like, is it a ghost? Oh,
yeah, so she moved in the tapestry.
She didn't move in. Oh my God. What?
What?
You're saying she's changing positions in the tapestry now?
That's what you just said.
No, it's not.
Read it again.
The woman's figure rose up from behind the wooden chest as the tapestry.
The woman's figure rose up.
Celaena faced the tapestry. The door was slightly ajar. She jumped up from the bed, slamming into the wall so hard that her shoulder made an ugly cracking noise. Despite the pain, she rushed to the door and pulled it tightly shut. The last thing she needed was for whatever was down there to wind up in her room or to have Elena show up again. She stepped back, surveying the tapestry. The woman's figure rose up from behind the wooden chest. With a jolt, she realized it was Elena. She stood just where the door was, a clever marker.
It moved from behind a wooden chest.
That's where she pushed it.
It rose up.
Do you remember when I pushed it over to the side with my hand? In my memory over here.
I think we're ready to move on.
I don't even know where we are anymore. The stag. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, the stag. So we're back at the stag, who I think now appeared. It makes it more magical for me. She doesn't like magical, so we're going to stick with that. His gaze now fixed on Elena, the symbol of the royal house of Perrington, the kingdom Brannon himself had founded. Celaena shook her head and turned away, eyeing the evil in the castle. But deep down, she already knew the only truly evil thing in the world is the man sitting on his throne. End scene. Hey, it's Rompier!
Back in the spotlight. It's been a minute since we saw her. She's playing the part perfectly, smiling like she's totally thrilled to be watching a bunch of acrobats flipping around for Queen Georgina's entertainment.
I would. Have you ever been to the circus?
Yes, I enjoy the acrobatics. I've also been to Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas. It was lovely.
Well, Rompier just seems like a boring person.
Yes. Well, boring. Speaking of boring, Borington set this up. And Kaltain knew the game. She could be a duchess with this clown so easily. But why settle when Dorian's still single? And let's be real, he's a much better prize.
Yeah.
And yet, these two little words, not enough, keep echoing in her mind, whispering in her ear, haunting her sleep with nightmares, so sharp that she can't remember where she is once she awakens. Let's keep that in mind.
Yes. Kaltain begins her subtle maneuvering, engaging the queen with small talk about Dorian's sneaky little minx.
Indeed.
The queen casually mentions whispers of a young lady who's caught Dorian's eye. Kaltain quickly dismisses the notion, brushing it off with practice ease while intentionally bristling. Obviously talking about Lillian/Celaena, but Kaltain isn't letting on that she knows anything about her. But then Georgina delivers a surprise.
Oh, it's a shame you're with Perrington. I would have set you up with Dorian myself.
This wasn't what Kaltain expected, nor I, with the beautiful accent.
Oh, thank you.
It was better. Much better. And I agree. Accent, much better. Good job, babe.
Thank you.
Certain that she would not have been approved, Kaltain prods to find out that her beauty and wealth would have been enough compensation for her lowly station. Kaltain's mind buzzes with opportunity. One of my favorite quotes at the end of this chapter, Perrington had given her the shoes. Now was her time to dance.
Ooh, she got a foot in the door. He gave her the in, and now she has to make. Oh, she has
now
to
it's
make
her
the best of
turn
it.
to make the wheels go round. All right, real quick, let's talk about how quickly our girl dispatched Baron's little Weasley ass.
That was epic. I can't believe she didn't pull a weapon or anything. That's just
I know.
I mean, the element of surprise was there for sure. I don't know if she would have been able to do it if he had known it was just going to be like a hand-to-hand combat thing, but the element of surprise was definitely in her favor.
When we were reading how fast she was dispatching, we were like, oh, God, Chaol's going to be so mad. But then Chaol was actually impressed. He was like, nice.
Yeah, I was impressed that he was impressed.
I mean, then what about what she said to Brullo?
Oof. And the fact that he was kind of gaping about it, like he seemed surprised and taken aback that she was able to dispatch him that quickly.
Knowing that Brullo's been doing this for 30 years and training everybody, including Chaol, probably the king, he's probably like, yeah, this chick is awesome. Yeah, we love her fire. So we've already beat the dead horse with the stag and the tapestry, but let's talk about what the stag represents real quick.
Yes, real quick.
So it represents the animal for the kingdom of Terrasen.
Correct, which is Celaena's homeland.
Yes, which Brannon founded, which is Elena's father. So that means Dorian is also lineage to that as well.
We'll be interested to see how all of that. Where is that tree? Didn't we?
The tree.
A family tree. We need family trees.
Oh, the family tree.
Or some pictures and some red string. I could do it that way too.
And I'm wondering if Celaena could also be added to that family tree, but I don't know.
And then our sneaky girl Rampier is back. Got her little sneakiness going on, but what's with these headaches?
Okay, so
what if she's the beast?
I mean, that's possible.
And she's getting headaches because she's either controlling the beast or she is the beast. I'm going to put this on my tinfoil hat section.
Yes.
Because of the headaches.
I'll let you have that tinfoil hat, and we will talk about that in a little bit. So I want to also talk about her motivations. So she obviously wants to get married to Dorian, and she mentions that she, really wants to get married to him. But two little words keep echoing in her mind.
Not enough.
Not enough. So what is not enough? So being queen is not enough. So that's why I had that note. So what is not enough? If queen's not enough, what else is there? So
no, I was thinking that she was not enough. Maybe the power that she has already is not enough. Maybe she's stealing power from things and she doesn't have enough and she needs more. That's why she's getting headaches.
Tinfoil hat. Yeah, because I mean, queen is not enough. That's not enough power. Now, there's magical shit.
Yeah.
That's more power. Does she know about the word marks? Does she know about the portals?
Maybe she knows about the stone from Perrington.
Because if she knows that there's portals to the other world, then obviously Queen of Aurelia is not enough. Queen of all the portals.
Oh, man. You could be unstoppable.
I think we're in the Pacific Ocean of tinfoil hats at this point right now. Okay, so let's not get too carried away. Let's move on to the next chapter. Last but not least, chapter 30.
Lingering doubts. Celaena and Chaol are in the middle of archery training. Chaol's skill shines when he not only predicts Celaena will miss, but precisely by how much and where the arrow will land, down to the inch, which he nails. Unsurprisingly, Celaena doesn't appreciate the commentary. It's been 3 weeks since Xavier's murder, and sleep seems non-existent for either of them.
So they've been shut down this whole time? Or did we just miss tests?
I don't know. I feel like they would have told us if they
maybe we'll look back into it.
Yeah. Chaol isn't any closer to discovering who the killer is, but he's more concerned with how the murders are being carried out and how the victims are being chosen, since no pattern has emerged. Seizing the moment, Celaena reveals that Cain knows her true identity.
Celaena finally spills the beans about what went down with Cain. She's pretty sure none of the other champions know. And surprisingly, Chaol doesn't seem upset. In fact, he's confident she'll still win. And I'm kind of proud that our boy is having a little bit of confidence in her. So we're going to do a quote. She retorts, a sly grin forming.
It's starting to sound like you actually believe in me. You'd better be careful.
Chaol opens his mouth to reply, but before he can, 2 guards burst in. Oh, great, Celaena thinks. Another body. Fingers crossed it's Cain, but we're not that lucky. As Chaol heads off with the guards, she glances back at her target and groans. She missed, exactly like Chaol had predicted.
I just want to point out real quick that she lied to Chaol about when Cain said that to her. Yeah, because he was so serious about how long has he known that? And she's like, just a couple days. Instead of, it sounds like the 3 weeks that we've missed in the interim here.
Oh, yeah, I completely missed that.
That's interesting. Well, now we're on to the body, and it has already drawn a crowd by the time that they arrive. Celaena's eyes flick between the gruesome details. The face and the brain are missing, the claw marks gouging the ground, and 2 word marks drawn in chalk. Then she notices the victim's unmistakable curly hair. Varen.
Yes.
Even with no face, she'd recognize that weasel anywhere. Not Cain, but good enough.
I'd say second best.
Second best.
Grave would probably be the next one.
Yeah, then Grave, yeah. Where's Knox then?
If he's the one doing it, then he can't kill himself.
That's fair. Okay. The claw marks catch her attention. No blood. Clean. Which means the killer had the time and the presence of mind to sharpen its claws. Celaena channels her best Sherlock Holmes impression, piecing together the clues, and after a moment of analysis, she concludes that the killer is probably human.
Okay, that makes things different.
Yes. Chaol frowns and asks,
What does that mean?
She smiles grimly at him. It means that you're in a lot of trouble. And as Chaol's face paled, Celaena realized with a jolt that perhaps the champion's killer and Elena's mysterious evil force might be one and the same. Dum dum dum.
Back in her room, Celaena was buried in books again, trying to piece together anything she could about the 2 word marks. She found a map of Aurelia and absently traced the East Coast, starting with, and I'm going to butcher the hell out of these, Banjali, the Elway capital, up through Rifthold, then north and inland to Orinth, her birthplace in the capital of Terrasen. Frustrated, she slammed the book shut with a sigh.
Let's break down the absolute nightmare fuel Celaena's been dealing with lately. She's not just losing sleep, she's being haunted. Think ancient battles, swords with literal eyes. Yeah, imagine sleeping after that. And word marks swirling around like some dark magic tornado. Fey and mortals locked in brutal combat. Blood soaking the earth, the air thick with death. No wonder she's running on empty.
And of course, there he was, Dorian. All right, these guys really need to learn how to knock, especially at midnight when she has a test tomorrow. Seriously, who does this guy think he is, Edward Cullen?
Nice.
But if she was being honest, his company wasn't the worst thing, not with a killer on the loose.
They start talking about word marks, her research, and the murders. She bluntly tells Dorian he's not taking the danger seriously enough and should step up. But she's over it for now, especially when she notices Dorian looking rough himself, which turns out to be because one of his dogs just had puppies. Puppies!
Yeah, more puppies. Excited.
He asks her to play the pianoforte, but she refuses, suddenly self-conscious. Naturally, he pries because that's what he does best, delivering his request with that signature charm.
And she's not ready to open up to him. Not yet. It's too personal, too raw. But Dorian, ever the charmer, keeps prying. His curiosity genuine. He doesn't push too hard, but just enough to get her to relent.
One question.
She finally agrees, pointing a warning finger at him.
Only one.
He doesn't hesitate. Why do you like music so much?
You said nothing sensitive.
Is that prying? How different is that from asking you what you like to read?
No. That question is fine. She let out a long breath through her nose and stared at the table. I like music because when I hear it, I lose myself within myself, if that makes sense. I become empty and full all at once, and I can feel the whole earth roiling around me. When I play, I'm not destroying. I'm creating. I used to want to be a healer, back when I was almost too young to remember. Back before this became my profession, when I was almost too young to remember, I wanted to be a healer. Music reminds me of that feeling. I've never told anyone that. Don't mock me.
He shook his head, wiping the smile from his lips. I'm not mocking you. I'm just...
Unused to hearing people speak from the heart?
Well, yes.
Now it's my turn. Are there any limitations?
No, I'm not nearly as private as you are.
Why aren't you married?
Married? I'm 19. Hold up. And didn't you have the same reaction? You said the exact same thing. You were like, married, he's only 19.
I did.
That was literally what you said last episode. That's hilarious.
He's 19.
All right, jump back in. You're up.
Yes, but you're the crown prince.
Ask another question.
I want to hear your answer. It must be interesting if you're so ardently resisting.
He looked at the window and the snow that swirled beyond. I'm not married because I can't stomach the idea of marrying a woman inferior to me in mind and spirit. It would mean the death of my soul.
Marriage is a legal contract. It's not a sacred thing. As crown prince, you should have given up such fanciful notions. What if you're ordered to marry for the sake of alliance? Would you start a war because of your romantic ideals?
It's not like that.
Oh? Your father wouldn't command you to marry some princess in order to strengthen his empire?
My father has an army to do that for him.
You could easily love some woman on the side. Marriage doesn't mean you can't love other people.
You marry the person you love and none other. You're mocking me. You're laughing in my face.
You deserve to be laughed at for such foolish thoughts. I spoke from my soul. You speak only from selfishness.
You're remarkably judgmental.
What's the point in having a mind if you don't use it to make judgments?
What's the point in having a heart if you don't use it to spare others from the harsh judgments of your mind?
Oh, well said, Your Highness. Come now, I didn't wound you that severely.
You've attempted to ruin my dreams and ideals. I get enough from my mother as it is. You're just being cruel.
I'm being practical. There's a difference, and you're the Crown Prince of Aderlan. You're in a position where it's possible for you to change Aurelia for the better. You could help create a world where true love isn't needed to secure a happy ending.
And what sort of world would I need to create for that to happen?
A world where men govern themselves.
You speak of anarchy and treason.
I do not speak of anarchy. Call me a traitor all you like. I've been convicted as an assassin already.
He slid closer to her and his fingers brushed hers, calloused, warm, and hard. You can't resist the opportunity to respond to everything I say, can you? She felt restless, but at the same time remarkably still. Something was brought to life and laid to sleep in his gaze. Your eyes are very strange. I've never seen any with such bright rings of gold.
If you're attempting to woo me with flattery, I'm afraid it won't work. He then notices the ring on her finger. She refuses to reveal who gave it to her, knowing full well Chaol wouldn't want Dorian in the loop. Quickly changing the subject, she asks him to play billiards instead. Celaena didn't wait for his answer as she strode toward the gaming room. She very much wanted to stand close to him and have her skin warm under his breath. She liked that. Worse than that, she realized she liked him.
All right, now that, we're all hot and bothered.
Let's go get some food.
Food?
In the dining hall.
Oh, yeah, dining hall. All right, so we are in the dining hall with Chaol, and he's with Perrington, but he's studying Perrington. Why is that? He isn't sure until he catches it. A shadow, fleeting and unnatural, seems to pass across the Duke's face. His eyes look clouded, distant, like something isn't quite right. And I knew that fucker wasn't right.
What? You said that about Knox, too.
Yeah, but Perrington, like from the very first time where he grabbed her neck and pushed her down the ground like an asshole.
I keep forgetting that that's him.
And then he picked Cain to be his champion.
Oh, yeah.
And the king is back. I mean, come on.
Right,
we can go on. And
whatever about him.
Yeah, whatever. So Chaol stays later than usual, pretending to linger over his meal just to see if it happens again. And holy shit, it does. He's never trusted the Duke, and neither have we. Not after all the whispers about taking Nehemia hostage. But now, that shadow seals it. Something's seriously wrong with Perrington.
Chaol looks over at Kaltain, who is also eyeing the Duke, but not for the same reason. Hers seems more contemplation. And where the hell was Dorian? Oh well, back to the Duke. Okay, what the hell? Borrington is now staring at his black ring, but his eyes, it's as if his pupils have grown to encompass his entire eye. And Chaol wonders if Kaltain has seen this as well.
I'm wondering the same thing. No, there was no expression on the Duke's face, nothing to give him away. Chaol finally left the dining hall, but the uneasy feeling lingered. He couldn't shake the sense the Duke had been watching him too. He has a ring, just like his boy Cain.
Or maybe it's Cain's ring, because he didn't say anything about Cain being there. Chaol was just looking over at the Duke and Kaltain, so...
Oh, like they're giving it back and forth?
Maybe.
I mean, could
it
be.
was just
Or they
a
could just both have a ring. They could be like ring brothers. All right, so Baron is now dead.
And we find out the only pattern seems to be champions.
Yeah, but there's no pattern how they're picking them.
Nope, still nothing.
And it could be human. So Celaena, like you said, did her Nancy Drew or Sherlock Holmes little...
And thinks that someone's controlling the beast or whatever, giving it time to sharpen its claws.
Well, it could be that, or it could be something turning into the beast, having time to sharpen its claws. It could be one or the other. So now that Borrington isn't boring anymore, do you think Kaltain knows about the shifty eyes in the ring?
I don't know.
Because she's with him a lot.
Is she with him a lot? I don't know that she's with him a lot. We've only seen her with him a couple times. Says he's not in court a lot, so I don't think he's there that often.
I'm going to speak for men.
Okay.
I'm going to put myself in Borrington's shoes, unfortunately. So Borrington brought her to Rifthold, and she is promising him some right?
Yeah. Yes.
So he really, really, really likes her and really, really, really wants to get with her, and he probably wants to get paid very quickly. So he's probably up her butt a lot. He probably doesn't show up to court, right? But he probably shows up to her room, escorts her places. Guarantee he's up her butt a lot more than we see in the book, because the book's more about Celaena than Kaltain.
Well, that depends on what this ring is doing to him and what these shadows are doing and why his eyes are being all weird and pupily.
I mean, Kaltain's getting the headaches. What if the ring is causing the headaches?
Oh, I forgot about the headaches.
Yeah, what if the ring's causing the headaches? What if being around the ring, Borrington, is causing the headaches? Well, or what if the monster... Oh, tinfoil hat. Time for some more tinfoil hat stuff, guys.
All right, go.
What if Kaltain is the monster, like the creature that came through the portal, attached itself to Kaltain like venom, and then is controlled by the rings, and that's why she gets the headaches? because she doesn't remember where she's at with the vivid dreams.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the vivid dreams are. Are the vivid dreams her mauling people?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's a good one. All right. I'll add it to the list.
Let's move on to Dorian and Celaena.
Okay. Dorian finally got her to open up a little bit.
And she got him to open up a little bit. So they each got to ask one question.
That's good. It's a start.
And we apologize for the long reading. We felt all those words were important because it shows more emotion from Elena, and it shows finally emotion from Dorian. Now we know why, he is so picky about being married, because he really believes in being married for love.
He does.
Which is very heartwarming for him.
I think you just said Elena.
Did I say Elena?
Yeah.
There's so many people now.
I know.
But Elena, Celaena, it rhymes. Ooh.
Yeah.
Another tinfoil hat. Elena, Celaena. Related.
Oh, okay. I'll add that one to the list too.
How deep am I swimming right now in my tinfoil hat? Am I in the pool? Am I in the river?
You're at least in like a creek/river.
Okay, I haven't joined the ocean yet.
Like a trickling river. Like you're like the Mississippi. You're headed in that direction.
Okay. Well, I'm happy because this is now the end of this episode. So we're going to leave that with a great tinfoil hat for you guys.
Oh, so many.
You ready for He Said, She Said?
I am. Let's do that. I'm going to win again.
All right, folks, it's time for He Said, She Said, the game where we test each other's knowledge of this week's chapters by guessing who said what. Or
more accurately, it's the game where I win because Scott either overthinks it or totally blanks out.
Excuse me? I'm just giving you the illusion of superiority. It's called strategery.
Is that what we're calling it? Anyway, we've each picked 3 quotes, and the other person has to guess who said them. 30 seconds, no hints, no lifelines, maybe some multiple choice if he begs.
And apparently no mercy either. Let's get to it before Genevieve starts drafting her victory speech.
All right, are you ready for me to kick your ass?
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired of losing.
Okay, why don't you go first?
Starting with the easy one. All right, remember, 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, that's time.
So take your time. You don't have to rush. You ready? I'm glad you find humor in a man's murder. 30 seconds. Counting down.
I even read it earlier, too, but I was like, no. Chaol is involved.
Possibly. I can't give you hints.
Come on.
Hints. No hints. All right, you got about 5 seconds, and I'm just making seconds up at this point.
Chaol to Celaena.
Yes. Damn it, woman, you got it right. Oh, man. Chaol to Celaena, talking about Xavier's murder.
Yes, I knew what it was talking about, but I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's...
Or it might have been Varen's murder. I forgot 2 people got murdered. I honestly can't remember. 2 people got murdered. She thought it was funny, so most likely Varen's murder. All right, you ready? Your turn.
All right, the easy one.
Thinking hats on.
One would think you'd have better things to do with your afterlife.
Oh, Celaena to Elena.
I'll accept that answer, but she said it to her sarcophagus. I'll accept it, though. I know you weren't ready for that.
Are you seriously? Are we? All right, you want to play that?
I mean, she did say it. It was a direct quote.
What? All right, what was Chaol wearing when he said that to Celaena? Colors? Style?
Gray, probably.
Probably. No, he's got no sense of style, let's be honest. All right, so we're medium, so
yes, you're good. 1-1.
For the world's greatest assassin, this is pathetic.
Oh, that was Dorian to Celaena.
Damn it.
It's about billiards. Billiards.
Or pool. I know that she bit the stick.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I would have the same reaction. Okay, my next one is such a pity.
Say that again.
Such a pity.
Can you say that in a male voice? What? You didn't say we couldn't do that. The rules did not specify gender or voice.
I know, but I wasn't ready.
That's the whole point of this game. You're not supposed to be ready. I'm sure your 30 seconds or did I ask the question? Or did you ask the question?
I was supposed to say it in a male voice for you, you cheater.
Well, I'm probably past the 30 seconds at this point.
Such a pity.
Kane. No. Oh man. Oh no, Grave. See, I knew it was a guy.
Yeah.
No, I lost.
No, you knew who it was.
No, I
That's
knew it
just
was
my Kane voice. It's not.
Well, that's my voice for Grave.
Yeah, I know I don't do Grave, so I was like,
yeah, so that's why I thought it was Kane. I don't know. Who cares?
Okay.
I missed that one.
Okay, who do you say it to?
Okay, he said it's Celaena passing by quickly because she said something quickly as a quip.
Too bad.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
You ready for the hard one?
Yes, I'm ready for the hard one.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
This is what comes from such idle behavior.
Oh, ooh. Oh, you're gonna be so mad.
Go ahead.
It is Chaol to Dorian.
Yes. What are they doing?
They are sparring, and Dorian's like, "Well, I've been doing meetings and stuff. I'm so sorry. I'm going to court."
Basically calling him soft.
Yeah. Sorry, Dorian, you've gone soft.
Did we do your hard one yet?
No.
Let's do your hard one.
All right. My hard one is damned idiot.
Say it again.
Damned idiot. Damned idiot.
Can I get that in the form of a sentence, please?
Damned idiot. Period.
What language does that stem from?
That is English.
English.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Damned idiot.
Chaol?
No.
No, who was it?
It was Celaena to Chaol. And it was because she was mad at him because he was scraping his sword and freaked her out. And she's like, damned idiot, because he freaked her out. And I thought it was cute.
Well, looks like I lose again.
That's okay. I'll give you lots of kisses.
Yay me.
Win-win.
All right, now let's go check in on Obsidian Garnet at Assassin's Whisper. Welcome, Seekers of Secrets, to Assassin's Whisper. I am Obsidian, sharp as a blade, clever as a riddle, and never where you expect me.
And I am Garnet, the shadow you sense but cannot see, and the voice that carries truths only the bold dare to hear.
Together, we are the Keepers of Whispers, guardians of the secrets of Aurelia, entrusted to pass them on to only the most cunning assassins.
This is your covert briefing, a recap of what has transpired in the world of Pay attention, assassin. The truth is a weapon, and we're here to make sure you wield it well.
Listen carefully, for every whisper could mean survival or demise. Welcome, Seekers of Secrets, to Assassin's Whisper. I am Obsidian, sharp as a blade, clever as a riddle, and never where you expect me.
And I am Garnet, the shadow you sense but cannot see, the voice that carries truths only the bold dare to hear.
Together, we are the Keepers of Whispers. Together, we are the Keepers of Whispers, guardians of the secrets of Aurelia, entrusted to pass them on to only the most cunning assassins.
This is your covert briefing, a recap of what has transpired in the world of Aurelia. Pay attention, assassin. The truth is a weapon, and we're here to make sure you wield it well.
Listen carefully, for every whisper could mean survival or demise. Garnet, the castle shadows are growing darker, and curiosity has led Celaena straight into their depths. A hidden passage behind her tapestry reveals cold stone walls, forgotten corridors, and 3 ominous portals. And what does she find? Whispers, secrets, and an archway promising answers she may not want to hear.
Secrets indeed, Obsidian. Elena Haviliard appeared, not a ghost, but something more, and gave Celaena a cryptic command: find the evil in the castle. But what is this evil? A stag, Terracen's symbol, lingered as if to judge her, and when she woke, an amulet with word marks rested in her hand. What do they mean? What is the word? And why does it feel like every path leads back to it?
While Celaena unravels ancient mysteries, the present grows no kinder. Xavier is dead. Another champion brutally ripped apart. Cain, stronger than ever, taunts Celaena, claiming to know exactly who she is. And then there's Perrington. Chaol has seen the Duke's clouded eyes, his strange black ring. Twice now, Garnet, and each time it feels more ominous. Whatever Perrington's hiding, it's tied to these murders, the king's disappearances, and something far darker than any of us are ready for.
Even amidst the chaos, alliances and rivalries simmer. Celaena and Nehemia's bond grows stronger, united by their shared disdain for Rifthold and Cain. Dorian draws Celaena out of her shell with laughter and late-night billiards, while Chaol's jealousy burns quietly in the background. And yet, Celaena's pride may be her undoing. She crushed Varen in the test, but with Varen's sudden death, it's clear no one is safe.
Not safe, Garnet, and not alone. The word mark, the passage, the murders, all connected, all circling Celaena. The pieces are moving faster now, and the shadows are closing in. But the question remains, is this evil human or something far worse?
The answers lie just ahead, assassins, but they won't come easily. Until next time, keep your blades sharp and your whispers sharper. The real game is only beginning.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of Booked for Two.
If you're loving the adventure in Throne of Glass so far, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
And don't forget to leave us a review. It helps other book lovers find us.
You can also follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Booked for Two Podcast for updates, fun extras, and all things bookish.
New episodes drop every Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Central, so mark your calendars.
If you like to read ahead, keep an eye on our socials. Every Saturday, we'll announce which chapters we're covering in the next episode so you can follow along.
And now we want to hear from you. Got questions about this episode or insights to share? Drop them in the comments in our Q&A posts on any social media platform. Your question might just make it into the next episode.
Until next time, keep turning the page.